Test. Hey! And I forgot my music. My Twitch streaming music. Hopefully this isn't too loud. Sorry about that. It's supposed to come out of my... What is going on? Why is that song playing? I don't... Everything is broken. I don't know why. It's because Windows decided to update itself. Alright. If that's too loud, let me know. I can't really tell. Windows decided to update itself and reset like all my stuff. So. Yeah, fun times. Okay, so we have this pause state, and when I say pause game, that's the script. It'll go through every single item that's not deactivated, and it will try to pause it by switching it to the pause state. But if it doesn't have the pause state, it breaks, as demonstrated by this. So it tried to go to the pause state, and it said, oh crap, this object does not have the pause state. Therefore, I'm going to explode your game. So I need to go and add a pause state to, to everything. I also need to add a check to say if there is no state machine or if there's no states set up for that object, then don't switch to it. But I don't remember if I actually have that ability or not. State machine initialize, clean up, execute, switch, previous, update. Because I don't actually want to... If... Excuse me. No, if it's not no one, then if it's not no one, yeah, if there is a state name on that object, then but the state name, state name is not set before reading it. Okay. Was that what the error was before and I just didn't pay attention? Anyway, how's it going? Thanks for, I almost forgot to say hi because I was so freaked out about my sound. Hi, how's it going? If exists, what is the thing? If it exists, yeah, it's good to see you again. Yeah. Hey, Will. Ate too many iced oatmeal cookies today. Is there such a thing as too many iced oatmeal cookies? So, Morphs, I don't know if you've seen, but there's like a dialogue system now and all sorts of cool stuff. I don't know if you follow me on other stuff. I can't remember. But hopefully we'll get that working again today. Once I get my pause state working. That's what I said. There's no such thing as too many iced oatmeal cookies. You follow me on Tumblr. Alright. So you have seen it. I need to update Tumblr. I just haven't had anything like... I haven't had time to write anything, and I haven't had any interesting GIFs to post. I'm hoping to do something soon when I get the hit stun thing working. But I've just been doing a lot of coding, and nobody wants to see coding, pictures of coding. Yeah. If a variable, how do you check if a variable exists in GameMaker? GameMaker check if variable exists. Yes. That's what I want. Instance exists. Instance exist. If it's not equal to undefined, state name is not equal undefined. Oh, apparently that's the thing. State name not set before reading it. Yes, I know, because it doesn't exist. So that you're saying, I'm sorry. So tall grass sea object state name is not set before reading it. Yes. I know there's a way to do this. I just don't remember how. Game maker. Yeah, state name not set before reading it. There's got to be a way to check, and I know there is because I've done this before. Could have sworn I've done this. The variable is set. Don't recommend you use this. It's a bad practice. That's not true. Why is it bad practice? Who says that? Sorry, I'm having this one-sided conversation with a random person on GameMaker forums. Worst thing is when I eat too many oatmeal cookies, they, shall we say, come back with a vengeance. I'm sorry. Eat Tums. I think I kind of want to create a Studio 2. How did I do this before? There's instance exists, but that's different. That's for an object. Maybe that's what I've done it with. Variable instance exists. There we go. Why don't we like that? Unexpected unary operator. Why is it unexpected? This returns a Boolean, right? Yeah. Oh. Oh, it's not this, it's ID. There we go. All right, let's try that. Huh. It's not set before reading it. If I do this, will it work? Because apparently this doesn't work. Huh. Okay, well, how would I check if an object has a variable? Trying to think of how I want to do this. It's going to have to be, I think we're going to have to do it through inheritance, by creating a parent object that has the ability to that has this state on it, and so I just don't want to make it the parent of every single object because that just seems silly. But it would just need to be the parent for every single object that you can pause, which is kind of annoying. Okay, I have an idea. I'm going to create an object. I'm going to call it state machine parent object. On create, we'll set state how do I do that? State machine initialize player object state create. So state machine initialize just sets all this stuff. So this shall, if we make this the parent of the player, it will just, yeah, it's just gonna initialize it twice. No, we don't have to initialize it twice because it'll do it here in the parent, And then in the child, we can just add all whatever states we need. Actually, this is really clever, and I didn't mean to be this clever. So we wouldn't need to do this. We would just call event inherited, which calls the parent object, which actually I'm going to have to make the parent of the palette flash object, palette flash parent object to be the state machine parent. Yes. And then on create, we call state inherited, event inherited. So we'll call the base, we'll call the parent classes create. And then I think also here, instead of creating the, no, I won't worry about adding the damage state there. Will NPCs have names? Of course they will. Yes. Actually, that's a really good question, because I'm trying to think if a lot of the NPCs in the Oracle games even had names. And I think they did. Yeah, of course they did. How to display that name on the dialogue is another matter, but yes, they should have names. Okay, so we have all the state. The state machine is actually initial. The parent state machine object is initializing the state machine. I'm losing my voice, and I don't know why. Let's go to the grass object. Where's the grass parent? Tall grass. It's got its own file. Tall grass parent object. And its parent is going to be the state machine parent. And so that means now that state name should not be undefined. Okay. State name is not set before reading it. What are you talking about? I just did it. Oh, right. I have to call the parent. Because when a child has a create event, and it'll overwrite the parent create event. So you need to call event inherited, which calls the parent's event. Yeah, the simple answer is name, colon, like you're saying. I was talking a little more detailed than that because I was thinking, I know the Oracle of Ages do like a colored thing, and then the Dragon Quest games do like a bold name. And some games do it like on every single line that is new, and some do it just on the first line, so something I'll have to think about. It is totally set. It is, because the grass doesn't have a create event, therefore it calls its parent create event. Which is event inherited, and it's inheriting from the state machine parent object. I am trying to show you what the dialog box looks like, but currently it's broken. Also, this is not correct. Uh-oh. That my mysterious menu thing has popped up again. I don't know how to get rid of it. Okay, fine. It'll just be there in the corner. It's not like totally broken. It's just because I'm trying to pause it, and when I pause it, it tries to pause everything. And since not everything has a pause state, it freaks out. So I can actually stop it from doing that by commenting out the pause game and commenting out unpause game, so it doesn't break when I try to unpause it. And I can show you the dialog box. So I'm thinking what it'll probably be is on the first line when people start talking, it'll have their name in bold or a color or something. But I'm going to kind of see what the best usability case is. All right, let's put this back. Thank you. I do have to give credit where credit is due. I got a plugin from the Game Maker Marketplace for like $2 because I was trying to write it myself and I was having trouble wrapping the words correctly. I heavily modified it, so it's not like I just copied somebody else's work, but yeah, I'm very pleased that that was there because there's just stuff that I wouldn't have thought of. Game Maker is a lot easier to make fancy text effects than Unity. That's probably true. It's just the problem is you have to kind of write your own way of inside the script being able to tag. I want this to be a different color. I want this to be. I want this to move up and down and stuff. You have to do that yourself. So and it's easy when it's just like this line of text needs to be green. That's no piece of cake. But if you have like a line of text and like the middle word needs to be green, then you either have to like break it up into like multiple strings and then draw them each individually, or you have to like create your own like escape character, which is what this kind of does. So yeah, I don't know how hard it is in Unity. Yeah, Game Maker also treats text as a single object. Luckily, you don't have to create dozens of objects in Game Maker. But yeah, text is a single object, unless you break it up into multiple objects. It's just how a string is, unfortunately. Okay, so why is this still complaining at me? Because it should be set now. It should actually, when the grass is created. Oh, the dialog object state. Yeah, it doesn't have it. Okay. We also need a way to set. That's why it's not working. You can at least draw text per character and have a single handler. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's sort of what I'm doing. What it'll do is it'll draw a string with the first character, and then it'll, in the next frame or whatever, next time the timer runs, it'll draw 2 characters. The next time the timer runs, it'll draw 3 characters. So it's not drawing 1 character at a time, it's just drawing the string further and further down until it's too big, and then you can wrap it. It's still kind of complicated, but people have done it a couple different ways. So I guess it would be easier than Unity, which I haven't really done much in Unity, so I can't really say for sure. Okay, we need to figure out a way to say if there is no state machine on an object, then get rid of it. Hey Brian, how's it going? How are things? With all player object. Okay, so if state name is not pause, that's fine, no problem. In fact, we don't even need to do this because player object is included in all. Let's delete this. We're still stuck with the problem if the variable instance exists. ID state name. There's got to be a way to check if a variable exists or not, and I thought it was this for sure. Variable instance exists. This function, you can check whether an instance scope variable exists or not. You supply the unique instance ID value, which can be found in the instance properties in the remainder, blah, 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 blah. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, never mind, that's fine. ID. Or is returned when you call the function instant create later, blah, blah, blah. As well as the variable name to check for as a string. That's what killed me last time, because for some reason, well, I know why it has to do this, because, yeah, we're not passing by, yeah. Awesome. Apparently I can't move around. Why can't I move? Okay, I can move. I can still slice grass. I can still move to other screens. If I do this, oh, I don't think unpause is working yet. Yeah, so that's just instance activate region. So what I want to do is if the variable instance exists, state name and state name, then we want to state switch previous, I believe. This is how we do that. Kiwi, hush. What? Oh, hold on. I just went to reactivate objects for some reason. Why did I go there? Unpause game. Oh, okay, here we go. With all state switch previous. And let's do the check. So we'll reset the state. Oh, I know what that is. So what happens is sometimes if you like slashed your sword and hit the pause button in the middle of slashing the sword, when you unpause, it would actually just restart the state, going back to the beginning of when you were slashing the sword. It's kind of weird, but yeah. Right. So if the state name is pause, switch to the previous state. I broke it. Couldn't find state moving to first state. For every single thing. That's a problem. I think for most of that, that's just the grass. It's an interesting puzzle. Because if what I think I need to do is I need to start printing out what the player state is again. So in the camera object, I believe is where it used to be. Hopefully I didn't delete it. Oh, good. Player state. Here we go. Okay, so this should at least. Okay, so the player state is stand. Walk stand. Dialogue. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So player shouldn't have a dialogue state anymore. Should just have a pause state. Yeah. Player object. Let's comment out the dialogue state, and then in the dialogue object, or where am I setting that? Let's get rid of that. So switch the player to the pause state and then immediately switch it to the dialogue state. And then after that it said, oh crap, I can't do anything about that because I am only switching the pause state. Hey. Here we go, okay. I accidentally drew a I don't think there we go. I was accidentally drawing a rectangle over the HUD at the bottom because that's what I used to do just to kind of save that space before I had the HUD. Okay, so player state is, oh, that's interesting. Player state unknown. So the problem is that I think this is the same problem we were having earlier, where it's firing the state previous so many times that it's yeah, hold on. So it's possible, and I'm not sure this is true, this is being called multiple times on the unpause, and so what it's doing is it's taking the it's calling this too many times. So it'll keep trying to switch to the previous state over and over and over every frame, which it does, but then it sets it all the way back to the beginning. So I thought I fixed with that, but apparently not. In fact, I'm not sure if it's doing anything at all. Because if it's not just unpaused, then yeah, whatever. False. Let's try that. Because that might keep it from continually resetting itself. Nope. So I don't understand why it keeps going state switch previous. So let's figure out where unpause game is being called. Yeah. Well, it's in the step, so that's not good. So that's on pressed, so that's not a big deal, because, yeah. No, that's not it, because, yeah, destroy if done, but it's not done. I mean, it is done, so then it unpauses the game and then it destroys itself. So, let's do this. In the state, in the camera, I'm actually printing out the player state. With just player object.state name. So what I think I want to do is in the player object on the step event, I'm just going to print it out every single frame. I just opened an app on my phone with my wrist and I don't know what it was. Oh, it's just Twitter. Okay. Okay. Let's see if it just flipped through a bunch of different states. Yeah, so this is the pause state. We have stand, walk, stand, pause. For a very long time. Couldn't find state moving to first state. Unless that's... yeah, it's unknown. So it's not swapping through, it's not going through the stack. It's just going straight to the... state switch previous is going to be... it's going to pop the current one off the stack, and state is going to be the top of the stack. If that makes sense. Yeah, this only reads the value, it doesn't pop it off. So we're not reading the value, so we pop off the state stack, and then we State stack. Read the top, plug it in state, state switch, state. Should be it. We're passing in false as well. And push is going to be false. Gotcha. So if it's real, oh, that's really interesting because I'm pretty sure this is why it's doing it. Yeah, because because we're not passing in using the state name, we're passing in using the ID of the state. And so this message is like, I don't know what the name is. But it's just a stack of IDs. Right? Yeah. Unknown. Oh, I knew this would come back to haunt me. So, I think this is actually working. It just doesn't know what the name of the state is. Yeah, because I can still move around. Okay, good, excellent. It is working. I'm just having a brain fart. All right, let's stop printing out the state. Hello, thank you. Let's delete that as well because we will never use it. Excuse me. Man. Okay. Okay, good. All gone. Here you go. Chop it up. Excellent. I'm very pleased with this. And we're currently paused. Excuse me. Okay. Looks like we're all set. The only thing is the next. So, what happens now is, oh over yonder, this guy is actually paused right now, which is fine that he's still animating, because we'll still want that to happen. But if he's like moving around, he won't move around because he's in the pause state. So if I'm talking to a person over here, yeah. Goodness. All right. Okay, so let's get the sleep state working. Or not state, I should say. With that. It's really interesting that it's actually pausing it's like it's creating the sword hitbox before it should actually create the sword hitbox. So let's do this. The sword hitbox object needs to have it is visible. That's interesting. It's only 3 frames. Precise per frame, which is correct. So the question is, why is it pausing, or why did it end up sleeping? Oh, I need to go to the base object. So on collision with the sword hitbox object, we tell it to sleep, which is fine. The only problem is that it's doing it too early. And I don't know why. So okay, the other is instance evolved with a collision event. Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. First of all, since we only want to have this happen once per hit, a sword hit shouldn't do 10 hits. It should be 1 hit. So even though the sprite is continuing through the object, so what I was thinking is basically have something set to true when it gets hit, but then when the sword instance is destroyed, set it back to false or something. And the problem is I don't want to tie it too tightly to the sword object, especially since that's sort of functionality that we'll need to... Got it. So this should actually switch him to... this should switch him to a state. And the damage state will not actually be able to... yeah. This is why state machines are good. So it switches to the damage state. The damage state actually can't accept another damage. The only way the enemy can take damage again is for the damage state to run its course and switch it back to the previous state. Oh, excuse me. So sorry. We'll wrap up here soonish. If I can find my state. Yeah, here it is up here. So my state damage... I don't know why Nightbot got after you, but yeah, that's a good idea. I need to... yeah, I need to calm Nightbot down a little bit. No. Because he's a little bit zealous. But yeah, I do like what you have there. I will have to make sure that it, because what I have to do is I place the dialog box on the screen based on wherever the player is and wherever the player is talking to is, so it doesn't cover up the player. And basically, I like what you have. I just need to make sure it doesn't cover anything up. That's all. Okay, Nightbot. Time to meet your maker. Somewhat literally. But yeah, I think it's a really good idea and I think it looks nice. So thank you for that. Yeah, Nightbot's a little overzealous here. Okay, I've let... You can now post links and stuff. It just got a little insane there. Hopefully he should calm down now. That's what we call lawful stupid. Okay. Right. So we need to create a state called damage state. And this is trying to figure out what all this is, because Okay, this just changes it back to the original sprite. Like, it doesn't just delete the last thing you said if you push the link, it deletes everything you said. Litigious? How do you pronounce that? That's hilarious. Yeah, well, sorry about that. Games Workshop. Yeah, okay. I basically turned off his spam filtering because none of you guys are spamming me. So if you start to spam me, I'll turn them back on. How's that? Right then. This is the player damage state, and this is a custom timer for some reason. You had the same thing happen on your stream. Yeah, calm down, Nightbot. So the damage timer is some other extra crap. I don't know why this comment is up here because it doesn't make any sense. There we go. So now and then it'll switch it back to the stand state, which I think will work for the enemy too. So I'm going to duplicate this. Don't anger Nightbot. He will take your firstborn. He will too, though. Enemy state pause. Alright, then... That's not really the place for it, but I don't really care. So this is pretty much the exact same thing. So we don't want any of this. I'm not sure this is what I want. Let's go to the enemy base state and give him that state. Oh, this is not. Let's do it here. I think that's how we do state create. Oh, it's going to try to set it to stand afterwards, and this is going to break. Let's go find out. Apparently, that did nothing. Somehow. Oh, I actually have to move him to the damage state. Right. Okay, so in the enemy state pause. Oh crap. I edited the wrong one. So now I'm pretty sure the enemy is going to turn into the player, which will be slightly hilarious. State update. I thought it was state execute for some reason. Oh, it's in the stat. So in the enemy, oh my gosh, I named this wrong. Here's the damage. Having issues. So in create here, enemy state, damage. And then here, when it's new, we'll say sleep 100. That way it'll only sleep on the new state, not on every single time. Yeah. Hopefully this doesn't break. And I think he's also going to turn into the player, which might be hilarious. Okay. Alright. Okay. Variable, unknown object, unknown variable, not set before reading it. Edit script. Enemy state damage, line 24. Player states object, player stats object dot HP minus equals collision object ID dot damage. So either HP is not set before reading it, or the collision object ID is not set. Kiwi wants to play. Or damage is not set. She's just too adorable. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's this. Well, or this, the damage. Because it's trying to collide with the player hitbox object, but that's not a thing at all. Yeah. It's going to actually be the... I don't know if it'll be the star object or enemy object. But either way, we'll find out next time. Because I'm getting sleepy and I want to play Mass Effect. So, as usual, thanks everybody for watching. We're actually going to end up wrapping up our bi-weekly stream here, unfortunately, soon. Because of good thing, my wife's schedule is looking much better. She's a coach, and she coaches late on Mondays and Wednesdays. And while that allows me to stream, which is kind of nice, it also means I never get to see her. So, I'd rather see my wife than stream. Sorry, guys. But we should be through to the end of April, and we may also start a different schedule. It just depends on what my days start looking like. You guys are awesome. Please keep following along on Twitter and Tumblr and wherever else you guys like to follow along, because game's not going to stop. I'm loving developing it. It's just the stream itself is going to need some figuring out. So have a good night or good morning wherever you are, and I'll see you guys next time. Should be next Monday, I think. Watch Twitter. You'll see. Good night.